Hello, the sound you hear in the background is construction again, like the whole summer here in summer 2018 in the center of Cologne in Germany. It doesn't distract me much anymore because I'm getting so used to it. Anyway, maybe you're familiar with renderpeople.com. I put the link in the description. This is a free model from them. They have quite a variety and selection of free models. Some are rigged, some are even animated. And this is a character I like to play with. I just imported the character via Windows General Editor's content browser. And I placed him because he is sitting and he comes without a chair. I'm placing him on this pedestal here, and I put a grey box around him. So that's basically everything. Here you have a dome light. Don't be irritated, it's not a sky dome light, it's a dome light, but it looks like a sky dome light. When I press A, I see the whole scene. It's sitting here, and that scene in the center is tiny, so it behaves very much like the dome light we're used to from Arnold. Let's delete the top face here because I want to let more light into the scene, and I'm actually rendering it with Renderman now. It sits here. It's a free plugin if you use it for educational purposes, which of course I do. There's no commercial idea behind this. And I just get a little bit closer to him. He comes with all the nice textures here. Quite complex geometry really. And now I render it with Renderman. It's a Renderman dome light. And I need a Renderman specific light for that. I introduced the dome light right here, lights, and here is the dome light. It simulates the natural diffuse light. And now I render this and check out what's happening now. First of all, what we see is it's not respecting the textures which are planted on our character. It renders a grey image. And it renders in several passes. I didn't change anything about the default setting, so it's a default rendering here. And as you also see, it displays the rendering passes differently than Arnold does. Arnold walks in little boxes around the whole image, whereas this one seems to come from the center and go to the outside. It's amazing sounds in the background. I have a microphone which is quite focused directly to my voice, to my mouth, but still, anyway. This is all real time, I'm not fast forwarding here, and I'm waiting until it's done. The size of the image is 960 by 540. And after it's finished, I render the same scene with Arnold. So the render time was 2 minutes and 7 seconds. It's displayed right here. And it's not rendering the textures. When we have a closer look, which is above the resolution we rendered here, we see some graininess, but basically it's quite clean here. Arnold won't render it properly because it doesn't know that light here, but still we can give it a shot. It's rendering, but it's rendering black. Okay, we keep this exact view here by creating a camera from that view. It will be called perspective 1. Check out this. This is perspective now. When we click here, we see perspective 1 right here. So we can freeze this now. It's called locking. We lock that perspective 1 camera. And now I go to another view here, and with a hotbox I select that view here. Check this again. So this is my perspective, and that's the locked perspective 1. That's the one I'm going to render later with Arnold. So we delete that surrounding surface now, that light, and we'll introduce an Arnold sky dome light. It's basically the same. It looks the same to me. It's I think basically the same size, but it looks different here. It's called a sky dome light and not a dome light. So let's go back to that scene and render it with Arnold now. Arnold renders the current view. We need to tell Arnold to render the perspective shape. It's rendering with the default settings of 3 samples for anti-aliasing. Same size, 960 by 540. And it's cleaning up pixels to the sides now, and it's almost finished. And it comes with the textures, 22 seconds. Now let's compare the 2 pictures by putting them directly next to each other. Top is the Renderman rendering and below is the Arnold rendering. It's quite amazing how fast Arnold renders this scene. We see some artifacts right here, some graininess right here, but we see graininess here as well. When you get closer to the shoe, for example, this is the 1:1 resolution, 1:1 resolution. So we're zooming in digitally now. You see the shoes are rendered in Renderman quite nicely in terms of the edges here. There are hardly any pixels visible right here at the corner, whereas down here we do see the pixels right here. But on the other hand, here we have a reflective, probably a Phong shader, and since everything is a Lambert here, it's really not understandable when we look at the grain right here. We have a lot of grain right here as well. So it's not really understandable why Arnold, coming with the textures, takes much less time than Arnold for the same scene. Well, if you have an explanation, go to the Renderman forum and I give you the link, and I hope you have a nice day. Bye bye.